I want to talk a little bit about fretwork. I see a lot of videos where people are using a soldering iron to heat up the fret, to pull the fret out. They say it's a lot easier if you do that. And they take the iron and they just, they just like go right up to the fret, and they rub it across the fret. Excuse my camera work. I'm just using my phone. I don't have a cameraman here. So if I were to put the fret, a soldering iron to heat the frets, first of all, I would put this metal guard on each side just so I wouldn't accidentally touch the fingerboard with 800-degree soldering iron. So these people do it without any protection. So what I did here, this is a Taylor. I heated up the first fret and I pulled the fret out. I heated up the second fret and I pulled the fret out. I did not heat the third, the fourth, or the fifth. I just pulled the fret out. And everything was exactly the same, except the fret wasn't hot. Nothing different. So, if you have glue in the fret slots, wood glue, CA glue, or more well known as super glue, will not adhere to the metal. So you really don't have to heat anything up because those glues do not stick to metal. Okay, now I'm going to talk about glue in the fret slots. This guitar has no glue at all in these fret slots. They're completely blank, clean inside. If there was glue, my tool would be going, going across it. And then I have tools to clean out the glue. So there's no glue in there. So now, there are many people who are now putting CA glue, super glue, into the fret slots. So they put the super glue in. I'm just going to call it super glue. And super glue is in the fret slot, and then they go to hammer the fret in or press it in, whatever method they use. The super glue hardens very quickly. Okay, so now they put the second fret in, super glue fret, put it in, the glue hardens right away. Put the third one in. And when I get to the third fret, I pull out my nifty level. And I check to see if the 3 frets are level. I teeter it. Oh, that's the guitar's stock. It hasn't been fixed since it was built. So that's uneven. But what I do is when I have 3 frets in, I'll use the level to see if the frets are even. And if they're not, I will adjust. I use a little hammer. I will hammer the high parts down until everything proves to be level. Now, if you're thinking ahead, you say, well, how can you move the fret once the super glue has hardened? I say, correct, you cannot. If you use wood glue, which is the way they've been, or hide glue, just basic Titebond, not the Titebond 2 or 3, that you need the water-soluble Titebond. So you put the Titebond in, and then you can adjust the frets after, because you've got, you know, an hour or so working time. I've seen videos of guitar, people making guitars, people who work with CNC machines. They're attempting to make guitars. And the video is, you know, it's the first time the person makes the guitars, and he follows the instructions, which says to use super glue. So when he's all done, his comments were, I can't adjust anything after the super glue is in. There's no working time. I said, yeah, bingo. And not only that, the super glue runs into the grain. It runs into the wood. The wood glue will stay where it is. Let's see. When you fill the slot with wood glue, the wood glue, as you're hammering the fret in, you can see the glue oozing out the side as you're pushing it into the slot, and the glue is dispersing, it's coming out. You can tell how much you've hammered it in by how much glue has come out. That's a great indicator, one indicator to say, how far down have I gone? This tells you how far you've gone down this level. The wood glue goes in and acts like a wood filler. It fills the air. It replaces the air with glue. It hugs the fret, the part that goes down inside, called the tang. The wood glue hugs up against the tang. It will not permanently adhere to the tang, but it touches it. And that helps to keep the fret stable. The little beads on the tang, the little bumps, they help to keep it stable. But the wood glue holds it, keeps it, if it wants to rock side to side, it doesn't allow it to. And the most very, very important part, which people on videos have said who have tried CA glue or Titebond, have said that the wood glue removes the air, so you get a much better vibration sound transfer into the neck. Air gaps are sound absorbers. If you want to eliminate sound, you have material that's full of holes, and the sound goes inside and it dissipates. I've had customers say, you know, I've reseated frets for them, guitars where there was no glue in the fret slot, and then I put the wood glue in, and the customer's responses were, oh my God, the ones you worked on, I get sustain, better tone, it's way better. And I say, yeah, because it's not all air pockets under your frets. So I think I've said enough about my opinion of CA super glue or wood glue in the fret slots. And if you take frets out of a guitar, if the slots happen to be filled with super glue, a thicker consistency super glue where the glue just doesn't run into the wood but stays there, you have to get that stuff out to ensure that your next frets go in well. You can take a soldering iron and put an X-Acto blade on it, and that heats up, and you go inside the fret slot and you heat up the glue, and it kind of smokes and bubbles out, and it's very toxic. You want to do that? Knock yourself out. I'm not doing it. So somebody who has a guitar repair company who sells tools and repairs is encouraging people to use super glue. He's older than me. Well, I don't know why he decided to do this. I've been doing this since 1978. And I say, you're crazy. Don't do that. But that's his opinion, and this is mine, and I'm sticking to it. So there you go. Have a good day.